Are you struggling with GCSE chemistry, especially the topic of oxidation and reduction? Well, stick around for this video where we are going to have a look at an example of an equation and whether we can figure out which substance has been oxidized and which substance has been reduced. So for this equation here, you have lead oxide plus carbon will give you carbon dioxide and lead. And we are just going to focus on the gain and loss of oxygen, and we're going to define oxidation and reduction in terms of the gain and loss of oxygen. Remember that oxidation is when a substance gains oxygen, whereas reduction is when a substance loses oxygen. So we want to have a look at what's happening to the reactants and how do they change as they go into products. So I'm just going to start off with lead oxide. You started off with lead oxide, and remember, oxide refers to the presence of oxygen. So this substance has oxygen already and it forms as products, it ends up losing the oxygen to have the lead. So in this case, lead oxide has lost oxygen to become lead, and loss of oxygen from a substance is the definition of reduction. So we can say that lead oxide has been reduced to lead. So lead oxide is reduced. What about our other reactant, which was carbon, and then it went on to form carbon dioxide? It had no oxygen to begin with, and then it ended up gaining oxygen because dioxide refers to the presence of two oxygen atoms. So we started off with presence of no oxygen and we ended up gaining oxygen. So carbon gained oxygen. And if a substance gains oxygen, we refer to that as being oxidized. We can say that lead oxide becomes reduced as it loses oxygen, whereas carbon becomes oxidized as it gains oxygen. So oxidized as it gains oxygen, reduced as it loses oxygen.